Joining me right now is former acting DHS Secretary and Heritage Foundation visiting fellow, Chad Wolf. Secretary, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. Look, you and I spoke a few months ago, and you said to me, Maria, this will get worse. It certainly has gotten worse. Look at the number of people under this Del Rio Bridge. How do you react? What do you say about this, Chad?
Well, Maria, thanks for having me on. Quite frankly, I'm angry, and every American should be angry at what we're seeing along that border, and specifically in Del Rio. Look, we told them that this would happen several months ago as they continued to tear down policy and procedures that we had put in place to stop a crisis like this. And they don't seem to actually want to institute the rule of law and enforce the law until things get to a crisis level, until you have tens of thousands of folks crossing that border and 10,000 or more folks under a bridge. Then they start talking about deportation flights, and they start talking about things that they should have been doing from day one. So again, this is a crisis that has been completely self-inflicted. It didn't need to occur. And again, they're too late in implementing policies that are going to address this at the end of the day.
So what happens now? I mean, look, first of all, I don't understand the point. I mean, what is the point of having no sovereignty whatsoever for this country? Why have wide open borders? This bridge connects South Texas to Mexico. Most of these people, we're told, are from Haiti coming through Mexico to come into the country, and they want to get apprehended so that they can be legal. And once they're apprehended, Chad, walk us through the process. They pretty much become legal in America until they are able to see a judge, right? And that, in some cases, is never.
Well, particularly families and minors that come across the border and are apprehended, they are released into the country within a matter of days, and they're given a court order to show up at a court in a future date, and it's probably months and even years away from that. And we know the vast majority of them never show up, so they remain here in the U.S. In the shadows and the like. There are a small portion of them that are deported or removed from the country, and we know that those folks simply come back over at the end of the day at a later date. But look, the Biden administration needs to get serious about this. Why they have waited for so long to deploy Border Patrol personnel to Del Rio. They should have seen this coming as the numbers increased. They didn't increase overnight. The numbers slowly increased over a matter of weeks and months, and they should have taken more proactive steps to send the signal to these migrants that it's not okay to continue to break the laws and to continue to enter the country illegally.
And we know that in the month of August, 208,000 migrants were apprehended. That was up 317% from August of 2020. Under the Trump administration, the apprehensions were actually at a 45-year low. So let me go back to my initial question. What's the point of this? What do you think is the policy thinking in this administration? I mean, you've got the Biden administration now saying that they want to give green cards to Afghan refugees. So we've got refugees coming in from Afghanistan, and then we've got 200,000 coming in through Mexico every month. The Senate parliamentarian ruled yesterday that President Biden's idea to spend $109 billion to make 10 million illegals legal as part of his $5.5 trillion spending bill cannot include that pathway to citizenship. It cannot be for amnesty for the millions of illegal immigrants already here in the country, Chad. So what happens now, and what do you think the thinking is? Why does this administration believe that America should have wide open borders when we have a structure in place? We already issue 1 million green cards every year, legally.
Well, it's really quite astonishing. I would say two things. One, they don't believe in immigration enforcement and border enforcement, and they've said that throughout the campaign, and congressional Democrats have said that throughout the years. So that's number one. Number two is that they simply don't believe in supporting the men and women of DHS as well, and making sure that they have all the tools necessary to do their job. What do I mean by that is they want them to do their job, but they don't want to give them a border wall system. They don't want to give them MPP. They don't want to give them all the tools to do their job, and yet they continue to put them in harm's way with these tens of thousands of folks coming across that border every single day. And so, again, very concerned I am when I look at that border. I see where it's going. It's only going to get worse. It's hard to say when we sit here in September to say it's only going to get worse, but it is until the administration starts dealing with Mexico. Mexico has the ability to stop this flood of individuals coming across the river, across the border, and into the United States. We've got got to get serious about these folks. And then let me just say, Maria, that it's certainly a good move on the Senate parliamentarian to make sure that we don't have amnesty in a reconciliation bill. I mean, that is a big issue when we talk about giving a pathway to citizenship and green cards. That needs to be debated. That needs to be a bipartisan solution. And so happy to see that. But we know that congressional Democrats will try other ways to get that inserted into the bill as well.
And by the way, here, too, is the administration blew off the Supreme Court by saying, we're going to not use Remain in Mexico, even though it was deemed you have to put Remain in Mexico back in place. But, Chad, doesn't Mexico have a role in that? I mean, if we were to say, yeah, the Supreme Court just ruled Remain in Mexico should be reinserted, can we just do that without getting the authority of the Mexican government saying, OK, we will reinstate Remain in Mexico?
Well, no, absolutely. Mexico is certainly a partner in that. And that's why, I was, very vocal at the beginning when they tore down MPP or they discontinued it. I knew how difficult it was going to be to restart it should they ever want to restart it. And now with the Supreme Court telling them that they need to, it's going to be very, very difficult. That is not something that you can turn on overnight, but unfortunately never should have been rescinded at the end of the day. And it's going to take Mexico being a willing partner.
Right, because I know that this all was part of a negotiation that the Trump administration had with the leadership of Mexico and the Northern Triangle countries. Chad Wolf, good to see you. Thanks very much for weighing in on this incredible developing story.